Hello my loves! Right, today I'm doing my nails and I want to start by just showing you a quick comparison of my old cuticle tool and my new tools. So this is my old one. I still keep it because I've got a pinching tool, but it really is too big actually for my cuticle area. It's wider and it's quite uncomfortable to use. So had I been using that tool, that would have been it. I would have pushed it back and that's that. But now if I go in with Ethel, I've missed all of this non-living tissue. And I didn't even know it was there because you don't pick it up with some tools. And this I think is key. Nailing your prep game is absolutely key to getting those nails on and staying on, and that increases your confidence and it increases your client's confidence in you as well. Now this is Doris from Navy Pro Tools. It's smaller, as you can see, and there is an even smaller end as well for like getting right in there, which I do use. I use both sides. So even here, I'm pushing back and releasing some of that non-living tissue, and then I'll go in with Ethel because I know there's more there. It's just hard to see with the naked eye. See that? I couldn't see that before. I know I bang on about it, but I'm just, when people come to me and they say, look, I keep getting lifting and I don't know what's going on, the first thing you've got to look at is your prep. You may be doing the steps correctly, but are you taking enough time? Are you using the right equipment for the job? It's all worth looking into. So again, I can use the bigger side even on my tiny nails and there's still proper space to move them about. And Ethel's the same. Ethel has a slightly wider edge and a more narrow edge. See, I'm using the tiny side of Doris now to get right in there. Push back the cuticles, then the tiny side of Ethel. I like them actually because of that, because it's not a one size fits all, is it? So yeah, get your hands on them. If you're having trouble with your prep, get some decent tools. Invest in yourself. Get some decent tools. You really will notice a difference. I then use this e-file bit just to exfoliate around the cuticle area, push everything out that I've just kind of dislodged. I use that on a really, really low setting. I've been waiting to do these nails for ages. They were inspired by Noodle Yes on Instagram. I will put her Instagram in the description box below. And I had the products and I was like, oh yes, I want to do it. She did a similar set, and then I saw the colours she used and I was like, oh, I want to do a set with those colours, and it just inspired me, and then it grew from there and became its own design, I suppose, but it was inspired by what I saw from her. So although I didn't copy her design, I did copy her concept, I suppose, and just change it and add a lot more bling and a lot more gold because I was like, yes! So we're going to the casino soon for my friend's birthday. So, gotta be blingy, gotta be gold. Okay, so I've done all that and I've cleaned off my nails, and I'm literally just going in with my Helen nippers and I am checking for any hanging bits of non-living tissue, any excess cuticle. It doesn't all need nipping off. You don't need to like take it within an inch of its life, but there will be bits that maybe have snuck out of, they've been lifted by Ethel, but they haven't completely come off. Just nip them away. Those three tools together are like the trifecta. And then I go back in now with Doris, and this is a tip I picked up from Kirsty Meakin. Just go back in and push those cuticles back again, because they do creep forward. So before you apply the product, push them back again. With Doris, it's really easy because she's nice and gentle. There's a little hanger. Get it. I'm going to use the small end of Doris now and really kind of tuck everything back under. Ready for application. Well, I'm going to file the nail bed as well. You know what I mean? So definitely go back to basics if you are struggling with lifting. Go back to basics. Check your prep. That's like a saying, isn't it? Check your prep. Check your prep. So I've sculpted out the other tips. I thought I'd show you this one. I'm just applying a bead of Diamond Nail Supplies clear. Couldn't even think then. My brain went completely like I was using some new colour. No, it's just clear acrylic. So I've dehydrated and primed and everything. Sculpted out the others. It was if you were watching my Instagram, you will know I was freezing. It was so cold in here. My radiator wasn't working. I had to get hold of my husband, who came out and sorted it all out for me. But when I was building these bases, it was freezing. It took me forever. I even had my monomer in warm water because it was so cold in here. It was horrid, 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 and just not setting because it was so cold. But it gave me extra time to move it about, so I'm not totally moaning. I'm going to apply a tiny little bead there, and then I'm going to start swooshing it all down. And I suppose I was lucky I did get that extra playtime, really. So we're building it to about 2.5. The forms have got a slight tilt downwards so that the lines, when they come out the side of the nail, they're straight. So I've taken those off, I've pinched, I've filed, and then I just pressed in some little gold leaf into wet acrylic and forgot to record it. The ring finger is completely clear, built up now, because we're going to have pigment on that. So I'm using these two colours. They are called Excite Me, which is the lighter one, and Hidden Pleasure, which is the more nude coloured one. They are gorgeous. They're from Valentino and they are stunning. So this one is Excite Me. So it's kind of like that milky, you know, like the milk bath nails that are coming in. Well, this is the Golden Goddess milk bath nails. So they've got that milky, like colour to them, but they've got the gold running through. And it really complements Hidden Pleasure, which is the nude with gold running through. So the design itself transitions from a warm nude at the cuticle into a milky gold nude into clear gold leaf. That's the plan. So this is Hidden Pleasure. Super beautiful, really, really gorgeous. Had a bit too much, so just swiped it off. My pinky nails are ridiculously small. I've only got a size 10 brush, and I reckon you could cut it in half and it would still be bigger than my nail. It's so tiny. Does anyone else have really tiny, like, nail beds? My hands are small too, so. So I'm just working that down, blending it in, just playing with the bead. Neatening it up around the cuticle area, smoothing it out. Same on this nail, so we're going in with Excite Me, which is the milky gold. It's like a milky colour with gold in it, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not a gold colour, it's a milky colour. She needs some milk. And then in with Hidden Pleasure. I love this colour so much. Just kind of want to bathe in that actually. It's so pretty. So the Valentino powders, dust extractor, and the crystals that I use in this video are all available from Angel Crystals. I will put a link in the description box along with details, discount codes, and all that shebang. I keep looking at them like, oh, so pretty. This was really early in the morning as well. I was doing my nails. So I just added a little bit more of Excite Me, the milky colour, just to kind of transition. So from the more solid nude into the milky, into the clear. You know what I'm saying? Same again. There's lots going on in this video because we're doing acrylic design work, we're doing pigment work, we're doing crystal placement. So just pay attention, please, everybody, okay? Built. Then I'm going to go in with Hidden Pleasure again. Oh, I've got to faff about a bit first, apparently. There we go. There's so much gold in this. You have to keep your brush super clean. Change out your monomer. There's gold everywhere. I actually dropped my entire pot of pigment during this filming as well. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that because I decided to share it with you. I don't know what I'm doing now. Having a chat, maybe having a cup of tea. I have no idea. I think I'm just checking my nails. Onto the thumb, which is a whole nail of Hidden Pleasure. And you can actually really see how beautiful this colour is now. It's ever so difficult trying to film your own thumb. I've come to that conclusion. It was dripping, look, because I had to twist my thumb. I was, oh God, it's just silly. It is what it is though. I'm trying. You probably all know what brush I'm using. It is the Glitter Planet size 10 aqua brush. It's the one I've had since last spring, I think. Last spring, last summer. I've had it about a year. I love it. I'm just going to put a tiny bead at the cuticle and just tease that in very gently. Very, very, very gentle movements. Don't need to go smashing it about and shoving it up there. Just be nice and gentle. We're making art, darling. If I had a scarf around my neck, I would have flicked it over my shoulder at that moment. Or just paint my cuticle then instead. Couldn't stop wiggling my nails and looking at the colour because it's so beautiful. So I just thought I'd add some more down here. Build up the structure, build up the colour and coverage and gold, just more gold really. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, this was me showing you that my trusty brush is still going. Right, we're going to cap. So I'm going in with Diamond Nail Supplies Clarity. I couldn't get the bloody name. And I applied a humongous bead, which was way too big. But that's okay, we can deal with that. So I'm tucking it right in around the cuticle and then dragging it down the nail. Going back, tucking it right in. Nice and neat, brush right up there. Scooping that mischievous bit that's going to roll off. This is the difficulty filming your own hands. You have to get at such awkward angles. It's very difficult if you haven't got overhead, like proper overhead filming. It's really, really awkward. Right, so I'm scooping up where I've had my hand twisted. The bead has started to move. It's okay. I've got monomer in my brush. I'm not going to oversaturate that bead. I'm just going to use right the belly of my brush and the base of my brush to start moving that bead down the nail as it's set in, which has worked out really well actually. Tiny little bit on the end, just to cover up that gold leaf. Blend it back and just neaten it up with my brush. Sorry about the ghastly focus there of my iPhone. I really think it's going to rain a lot. Okay, next nail capping, just wetting down that a little bit. We want it to glide. So again, picking up a bead of clarity, placing that bead on, tucking it in right up there, and then feather it down the nail. I'm more tapping now though. We don't need a huge amount of product where that nude is. I have my strength. I'm literally just covering it so that I don't lose my kind of graduation of colour down the nail. The main focus for me is building up the rest of it where I've got that gold, because I haven't capped it at all, so I need to build my strength up. Take that bead right down. By this time, thank goodness, the salon was warmer because Mr. B came out and sorted out the heating for me. It was so cold when I first started. Just checking I've covered everything. Okie dokie, onto the next nail. Same again. Place the bead on. Tuck it in. And then work it down the nail. Going in with another bead, placing it at the tip and then just dragging it back up the nail. And then I'll reverse my brush and blend it, and then we'll walk it down again and just create the structure at the tip. It's easier to walk the bead back and blend it back first, and then as it's starting to set, it's a bit more mouldable. So you can then tap it into place at the tip. And I quite often do this. What I'm doing here is turn my brush around and just smooth that point right at the tip and smooth it back up to the body of the nail. Just so it's all nice. Makes filing a lot easier. There's me just having a little look from all angles, checking it. Faffing about, as I call it. Does anyone else faff? Love a good faff. See, I could see a tiny little dip, so I was like, I'm not having that. Tiny little bit there, just blend it back. Okay, I'm going to cap my thumb. Tucking the bead in. Tuck it in all the way around, rotating the brush as I go as well. You'll see that. I often, as I'm working around the side, start to rotate my brush to go with it. Another tip. And then now as we work that bead down, we're going to start using the belly of the brush more. That's where your strength is. So place that bead on. I'm going to feather it back into the first bead and then start walking it down the nail. Always tucking in those sides so that your nail doesn't start to splat out at the side and completely lose all that shape that you've worked so hard to get. And then you're going to spend ages at the end filing it. So try and keep your brush flowing over the nail so it's nice and neat. Obviously, we could always do better. I could always do better. Not perfect. Hell no. Doing my little brush back again. I think we should hashtag check your prep. Should we start a movement? Hashtag check your prep. I love it. It really is, a lot of the problem comes from prep. Just the slightest little bit that's missed. Okay, we've filed. Now, I didn't include the filing because there's still more to go. I'm going to use Madam Glam Perfect Black on my ring finger. So I'm going to shimmy that brush back and take it down the nail. Going to apply one coat of black. It's so solid, this colour, and I'm going to put pigment on top anyway, so I'm not overly fussed about having perfect coverage, although this is pretty good. I mean, look at it, one coat, hello. Cure that for 60 seconds, and then I'll go in with my top coat, straight on it. This is Diamond Nail Supply's Tack-Free Top Gloss. I'll apply that, cure that for 60 seconds, and then, oh, my favourite bit. It's my pigments, not mine. Well, it is mine because I own it, but I didn't make it. It's my Glitterarty Gold Mirror Pigment. Mirror Gold. Gold Mirror. Mirror Gold. Rub that bad boy in as soon as that comes out the lamp, and oh my god! It's just stunning. Look at it. I love it. Oh, I want to keep these nails forever. They're so gold. I'll then apply a thin layer of top coat, cure that for 60 seconds, and then buff it back off. Well, not buff it off, but take the shine off with my buffer. So I'm going in with my Tack-Free Top Gloss again from Diamond Nail Supplies. Cover it, look at it. Oh my lord, I love mirror chrome so much. I'm like a kid. And then once that's cured, I'm going to buff it with a 180 buffing block. I probably would have rather have had a 200 actually, because this was a little bit rough, but it's okay. And then we're going to bring out the bling. Bring out the bling! Okay, I've got the Swarovski Mixed Pack Clear Shimmer Crystals. I separate them into size order because I am that anal. I like them in size order so I can plan them. So what I'm doing now is mapping out where my crystal trail is going to go, where it's going to start, where the widest point's going to be, where it's going to trail off, where it's going to end. That's how I do it. I don't know how anyone else does it, but we all have our own little methods, and this just keeps me on track. Otherwise, because I have a brain like a gnat, I could well go off tangent and start creating something I didn't even intend on creating. So it's better for me if I map it out. I'm using the Angel Crystals crystal adhesive. Tiny little bit. Oh, pop on the crystal. You'll notice I don't have my Alice tweezers, and that's because a small person has hidden them, and now he can't remember where he's hidden them. And I'm really cross. Do you know how long it takes me to apply crystals with a pencil? I can't do it. I might have to hold his Xbox at ransom. I'm seriously considering it. If not, I'm going to have to buy some more. Because I need them. I can't cope. So I'm just, there's no real right or wrong here. It's whatever you want to create. I added a bit too much glue there, but it was fine. I just stuck some more crystals on it. It's how you want it to look. Do you want it to be wider at one point, narrower at another point? Do you want it solid? Do you want it straight? It doesn't matter. Just go with the flow. But for these flat back crystals, I will use crystal nails, crystal adhesive. Angel crystals, not crystal nails. It's all the word crystal. Angel crystals, crystal adhesive. For pointy back crystals, you need something different. But I'm going to do a crystal video anyway because it's been requested. So that is coming. So there's my little crystal trail. And on this one, we're going to apply a golden shadow. Seriously, don't laugh at my clumsy art. This is why I want my Alice tweezers back. I can't do it without them. Nothing is the same. Nothing is as good. I can't do it. And if Navy Pro Tools are watching this, don't tell me off. It's not my fault. He stole them when I wasn't looking. But I'm going to get them back. This took me forever. This is a golden shadow teardrop, by the way. Now I'm using a micro swab just to tuck in some adhesive behind, because these golden shadow, this is a larger one, this teardrop crystal, so it sits a bit proud. So I'm going to tuck a couple of the tiny clear Swarovskis just underneath there, you see? So that we don't have like a negative space. It all holds itself together. I could have gone in with a thick gel like the Valentino gem gel, and I could have used that instead to hold it into place, but I wanted to continue the clear crystal anyway, and then I'm just doing a little cuff going up in size each time. Nice and simple, but very effective. After that, we're going to move on to top coat. Okay, Diamond Nails applies tack-free top gloss coming out. Ah, yes, love it. I will top coat the underneath of these as well because they are like milky clear. I'm just going to apply a little bit and then go in with my detailer brush and spread it all around and make sure I get right up in between those crystals, but not over the top of them. If you put top coat on top of crystals, they go from having this beautiful cut and this beautiful shimmer to looking like blobs of chewed up sweetie, in my opinion, like a boiled sweet. They lose their ability to reflect the light and bounce it off because you've covered all those facets. So just don't do it. Take the time, go around them. I used to do it when I first started. I was convinced you had to literally just cover everything in top coat. I love that nail. Right, next nail. I've got a gem stuck to the bottom of my finger, you know, as you do. I got in a right mess doing this set because I spilt all my Glitterarty nails chrome pigment. Yeah, I think I told you about that earlier. But again, using my detailer brush to get in the nooks and crannies. Making sure that everything has been sealed in around the edges. It helps with adhesion too. But don't rely on top coat for adhering your crystals. You need a good glue. And then we are going to top coat the thumb. That thumb, the thumb, 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 yay. Right, top coat the underneath. I've cured the top layer, obviously. Oh, look at that C curve. Totally beautiful, babes. And there we are. There we have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Tally bye!